really just a total poor performance, really, by everybody, uh, coaches, players, everybody. Starting with me, obviously they were more ready to play than we were, so that's on the head coach for sure. Um, Starting in the first quarter, if you look at it, I mean, they had 174 total yards in the first quarter, and we had 30. And, we only ran 19 plays the first half. Just not good. To our kids' credit, however, we kind of settled in, I thought, in the second quarter and got it to 10-7 at the half. And then, obviously the pick six was not good for sure, which got us down 17-7. But I don't know, it just seemed like we were playing catch up the whole game. Defensively, I think the story is missed tackles for sure. We were 2.5 times more missed tackles than we had the week before, which thought we played against a really good running back the week before. We had some missed assignments that really cost us, double gapped some pressures, which you can't do. And then the big thing was too is that their third down conversion rate was 11 for 16, so we couldn't get them off the field. Offensively, zero rhythm at all. We didn't have the ball, which is the offense's fault too. You got to sustain drives also. When you do get it, but we only, if you take out the the kneel down at the end of half, we only ran 43 plays the whole game, which is not good. Just no rhythm at all. Then on the drives that we had, I mean, if you go back and watch, we had a bad snap on first down. After a first down, we had two holding calls after a first down, both times, both of them good plays, and then we had a sack on a missed assignment. So very limited drives, and then when you have limited drives, so the first half we had a bad snap on one drive that brought us back. We had a holding call one that brought us back, and then we had a touchdown drive. So it was only three drives minus the kneel down in the whole first half and stuff. So, but again, we never got any rhythm, which is our fault offensively. You got to get in a rhythm, and if the other team is controlling the clock, the best way to combat that is that you keep it a while, and we just were not able to do that. One bright spot we thought is our kicking was really good. I thought Fab had a really good night. We had a good return with Matt McAllister, so field position wasn't the problem at all. Their first two drives both started inside of their 20, so that was not a problem. So, uh, we had a good week, I thought, and got a good week of practice, and so I don't find that as any excuse at all. I mean, Tuesday practice was jacked up a little bit from what we've been through this year. It was really nothing. I think we started about an hour late for practice and got in everything but a couple periods, so that's pretty good around here. And and obviously pregame was, if you were there, poured from the time you know we got on the bus to go to right up leading to the game. So we got, but again, that's part of it and stuff. So that shouldn't be any. But other than that, it was a really good week. So we just didn't obviously get it done at all. Um, and if you go back to the numbers and look at it, I mean, every relevant number tells the story of why we lost. First downs, rushing, third down conversions. I'm talking about, turnovers 2-0. We had 8 penalties. They had 4. Time of possession, not even close. So, any number you look at, any relevant number, in my opinion, all points to losing. Northwestern State is 1-7 on the year. You know, there's no doubt in my mind. I mean, watching them and whatever, I know they're 1-7, but they're a lot better than they were last year. I give Coach McCorkle a lot of credit. When you watch their football team, 2 of the losses have been by 3 points. So they're have been really competitive in a lot of games. I mean, last week, the Lamar game, watching it, I mean, it's still 17-7 going into the fourth quarter, and give Lamar credit. I mean, they stopped Northwestern State 3 times at the 1 yard line, or could have, away from being 17-14 going in the fourth quarter, and they kind of imploded like we did in the fourth quarter stuff. So, it ended up being the point of the margin of victory that it was. Also, when you look at their schedule, I mean, they've had a pretty tough go of it too and stuff. So, I mean, back-to-back weeks at Minnesota and at Cincinnati. Minnesota's having one of their better years, if you follow, and Cincinnati, my buddy Satterfield, they're having a great year this year at Cincinnati. So that back-to-back weeks for the Demons to have to go up there and play both of those two and stuff. So they've had a tough schedule of it too. So look, it'll be a tough game. I love the Northwestern McNeese rivalry. I've always liked it. It was always one of my favorite games going back through the years. Um, I said that when I left the first time, and of the 17 years I was here, two of them were lopsided. What I consider lopsided, one each way. I think in 2000, I was thinking back last night in 2004 when I was an assistant coach here. Northwestern put it on us pretty good in Natchitoches. I mean, when we were out of the game, and then there was a year here, I think, and I was thinking back maybe nine when they came over here, and we kind of put it on them pretty good, and they were out of the game basically. But other than that, they were all very, very competitive games. Had really good teams and that struggled against them, but it's just always been a really good rivalry. But the bottom line is, it's about us, and we got to play better than we did last week. And if we don't, we're going to be in trouble. So hopefully, we can channel a little bit of what we did the week before and not last week, and play better because we'll have to.
What do you think it was? I mean, coming into the game, they were one of the worst third down teams in the country. What do you think it was?
I think it's a combination of them making some plays and us not making plays and not doing what we need to do. I give the quarterback, credit. He ran around a little bit and stuff, and made a couple throws on the run. One of them across his body, one of them, going down, threw it across the field and stuff. So they did what they had to do to stay on the field. I think the other thing they did a nice job of, which we did not, is their third downs were manageable third downs. I mean, they weren't, five of ours were of the 10 plus variety after the holding calls and the bad snaps and all that. And that's tough to overcome. But
did you guys know? Obviously, we didn't know about the quarterback. Did you guys have any sense
well,
prior?
No, I mean, toward the end of the game last week, when against Stephen F., the other kid played and stuff. But I think what he brought to them was the running element of it too. Which again, I mean, you have to settle into the game and figure it out, and stuff. Which we didn't, we didn't do fast enough for darn sure and stuff. But this kid actually ran too, which the other one was, didn't run much. He just kind of sat in the pocket and threw it. But which I thought was good for them. I mean, they added that element into their offense, and then plus throwing the ball, he had a pretty good night and stuff. So
their touchdown drive to kind of put it away at 24-7. You had him pinned back on a third and I think 12 deep in their territory. You had the roughing the passer.
Yeah.
Then there was another penalty on third down. And then the third time I think there was a third and 10 and they got it. Those kind of self-inflicted wounds were kind of what you did all day. Is that what you saw?
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I was mainly talking about the offensive penalties that we had that stalled drives. But yeah, I mean that one, they're punting from deep in their territory and stuff, and we get the roughing the passer penalty. Yeah, no doubt. I mean that's just hard to overcome, especially when you're losing the time of possession piece of it already and stuff. So that just adds to it.
Coach, you're talking about the inflicted wounds and penalties. Is there, you and the staff, is there a common denominator? Is it coming from youth? Is it coming from some other thing, or is it just widespread that there's?
I think it's widespread. I mean, we had a holding call on somebody that, really on a play that, out on the perimeter, which, okay. The holding call we had on the interior, I think it's his first of the year, to be honest with you. And I don't know. I'm trying to think back, but we hadn't snapped the ball over the quarterback's head this year. I don't think. Have we? No, that was a new one. That was raining at the time, but it was raining on them too. But, so all those I think were new. We had a roughing the passer penalty, which I don't remember Sib getting a bunch of penalties on him. I mean, he was hustling, and I mean, it's, I'm not going to argue against the call, but, roughing the passer these days is interesting, interesting in itself and stuff. So, but, hey, he can't do it, I guess, what he did, obviously, but, I mean, he's hustling and playing hard and stuff. And so now I think, to be honest with you, Rick, I'm trying to think back, but I think these are all new ones, this week, I think. Like I said, I don't remember us snapping the ball over we rolled one in one of the games, I remember, but I don't remember us just airmailing it over the quarterback's head.
The turnaround from the week before, Any explanation on that?
No.
Can you find, or
No, I
is
can't
that
really.
the kind of the frustrating thing that you can't figure it out? Or?
You know, it's frustrating, obviously, but I mean, it's football. You know, you gotta, we talked about it again last night, but I was telling the players, I was watching some stuff, um, and the quarterback from Houston was saying that Coach Fritz always tells them that each week is a season in itself. Like I told the team last night, it's the first time y'all have heard that, huh? I say that every week. As the coach, I have to come in here on Monday twice, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday. I have to relive the game every week, every day. But as a team, I mean, you put it and you got to go to the next one. That's the way the season is. So each week is a different entity in itself. It's like the quarterback from Houston said. I mean, it's 12 different weeks of different stuff. And I mean, and that's just how the game is. I mean, everybody, like I said, as the head coach, I got to come relive it all week. But you guys, I mean, you got to move past it because each week is a season in itself, and injuries, and you got to play, and I mean, it's different and how it works, and we got to get better at that process, no question. For us to get better as a football program, we got to get better at that process because it is a process, and we have to become better at it than what we are right now.
You're saying, obviously offensive rhythm was lacking this past week. What do you have to do this week to prepare and get that back ahead of Saturday?
Hopefully, not have the penalties and the stuff we had. Uh, Hopefully, sustain some more drives and have the ball more than 43 plays. I think. I mean, all those things. Which really, I mean, they flipped the script from what we did the week before to Houston Christian. Houston Christian only had the ball 50 plays, and we had it almost 80. And you just flip the script, and now we have it 43 plays. They have it 70 something plays, and it's hard to win that way. And like I said, we used that to our advantage against Houston Christian. We got it flipped on us this last week, and that's hard to win that way.
Coach, Jake doesn't seem like he would fall into the gunslinger mode. What you see?
I think he pressed on the play. Obviously, I mean, it was. We had gotten a first down and we started to move, then we got a penalty and we got backed up, and now it's 3rd and 11. I just think he obviously pressed, and it was a bad mistake and stuff. And but that's all I can, because I mean, he did some really good things in the game too, in the limited opportunities we had. But you can't press. I mean, well, it's the game's within the margin. Obviously, we're right there. Let's punt the ball. Let's whatever. He just pressed and tried to make something happen that wasn't there, and it obviously cost us. So
how is he handling when he comes off? Is he the kind of guy who's like, okay, I got it, made a mistake, I'm going to come back and he just kind of erases from the memory?
Yeah, no, he handles it fine. No, I mean, he handles it fine. I mean, obviously, I want to see. I'm not a. You're never going to see me go scream at guys on the sideline and all that. I know he didn't do it on purpose, but you get them in here and try to show them, hey, this is why you can't do this and stuff. But what I'm saying is, I mean, obviously, he's a little down on himself, which you want him to be a little down because I made a mistake. But then you also, the flip side of that is, I want to see him get over it and move on. And so I think he handles that well. He has a balance because I mean, I never want to see somebody that, oh yeah, what I'm saying. I threw a pick. Who cares? I mean, obviously that, but you obviously don't want to see a guy over there get all down in the dumps and depressed too, and can't shake back. And so I think he's got a good balance there.
Do you temper evaluation because this is really a first-year starter?
Yeah, sure. I still believe that he's done a lot of really good things this year, and I think he gives us the best chance to win. So, like I said, I mean, he made a mistake, and one I'm sure he wants back. One I wish he wouldn't have thrown, but he came back and made some good throws and stuff, and that's part of it and stuff. So we'll have to move on. But I think what we have to do better is play better around him, and we have not handled, other than the Weber game, being in the catch-up mode. We haven't done real well this year, and we gotta do better to not get in the catch-up mode, so to speak. So.
Yep. With 4 games left, you can now play freshmen and not lose them.
Yeah.
Do you have a group of guys you want to see, or
We have a few guys that we bought Kenyatta Fleet last week because Markel Price was out with an injury, so we bought Kenyatta and did not put him in a game. But that's something we're going to look at this week. He hasn't played any games. We've been trying to, just because of the nature of running backs, we played Marquez Davis in a game this year earlier, and he had a really good game. And so, you know, he's got 3 left. We've been trying to hold him, so to speak, because and not put him in like at the end of any games or whatever in case, because the nature of running backs. I mean, running backs get banged up and stuff. So we've been trying to save him. I think that's the main 2, that we've been kind of trying to see. But I think that we think Marquez Davis could come play right now. But we have running backs at the running back position. So after the one game that he played, we haven't played him since. And then look for him possibly too if we do get through this game and then he plays in the last 3. We'll probably play him on special teams too because he's a good player. We'll probably put him on kick coverage and let him do some other stuff too.